Welcome to day 5 of our daily Bible devotions. We have come to the last day of our discussion of the moral argument. So, after all those days, we all know now that we live with a sense of compulsion that is quite powerful within us. What it means is that we are compelled to conform our lives to this standard of morality. And we feel it, we sense it, we have it inside us. We call it conscience, and we have that compulsion. So, what we are seeing so far is this. First, that there are objective moral facts, facts that are over and above the physical reality that the hard sciences study. It is outside the system, it is external, it is independent. Second, these moral facts come to us in the form of imperatives or commands. That's why we are given these moral duties. We have this sense of obligation. Now, all this, as we mentioned yesterday, all this moral facts, objectivity, and externality of morality, all this makes sense if human beings are designed by a moral God to recognize moral values and duties to live moral lives. But it makes no sense in a worldview or perspective that does not include God. In an atheistic worldview, this does not make sense. Even non-believers, even atheists who are ethicists who uphold ethics and morality, they hold on that this moral values, that this standard, it is objective, and even atheists uphold it. Now, atheists who uphold morality as objective and yet do not believe in God, what they are saying is that this ethics, this standard, they just exist. Moral facts just exist. You can't explain it, but it's there. It's quite weird that for a philosopher, for an ethicist, we rely on logic and reason to discover that morality, ethics, is objective, independent. And then, after discovering that there is an objective moral value, we just say that there's no other explanation, no more reason. Do we just stop there? Should we just stop using reason? Should we just say that, okay, it's there, but we cannot explain? Now, the reason why people just stop there because they don't want to go beyond. They don't want to go to the realm that would compel them to believe in God because that is more complex. Moral facts, they make more sense, and there's an explanation for moral facts if we admit, if we consider that there is God. The best explanation for morality is that we were created by a moral being who cares about us. And that is God. We will clarify this all the more next week. So, if moral values and duties are objectively real, then God exists. That's what we said in premise 1. Now, finally, we get to premise number 2. Premise number 2 says moral values and duties are objectively real. And consequently, in trying to establish our support for premise 1, we have also supported premise 2 already. We have said so much for the support of premise 2. So we have established premise 1 and at the same time premise 2. Now, the conclusion is inevitable. Therefore, God exists. What we need to do is to clarify some common misconceptions about the nature of objective moral values and duties and respond to some objections to the argument as a whole, because the argument is there now. It's the conclusion is inevitable because of the premises that we have established. Now we have to deal with the objections. First, people say, are you saying that people who believe in God are more moral, or more good, or better than those who do not? Are we saying that? The answer to this question is absolutely not. We are not saying that people who believe in God are more moral or they are better, morally speaking. Some people who do not believe in God, they are better. They are more moral than those who believe in God. We are just establishing the foundation for morality. We are just saying that if there is objective morality, there is God. Now, whether or not people follow that standard of morality is another aspect. Objection number 2. Sometimes people ask that, hasn't evolution taught us all we need to know about morality? And the thing is, we have discussed this already. The moment we consider this, we are saying that morality is subjective and not objective. And we know that morality is objective. Objection number 3, usually claims that what is right or wrong depends on either an individual or on a community. It is cultural or that it is personal. Now, this is related to objection number two. Usually, people say this with regard to things they don't care too much about or regarding areas of their lives in which they don't want too much scrutiny. But all you have to do to see people change their position in an instant is that you take away the things that they value and treat it as if it were relative. Take away their things, take away the people that they love, and hear them complain about it. Hear them complain about burglary. Hear them complain about murder. Because if these people are honest and sincere about moral relativism, about right and wrong is dependent on people and culture, then these people should not complain about burglary or murder. If you kill them, if you hurt them, if you steal things from them, they shouldn't complain. Because what if those people who stole their things believe that it is right for them to do that? If you believe that it is subjective, that it is personal, that it is relative, then you shouldn't complain about it. That's what you believe, right? The moment that person is hurt, that person will immediately complain. Those people will even sue other people in court. Why? Because they appeal to a standard that is outside the system, that is objective, because it protects them. No one is a moral relativist when it comes to what we really care about. And that's the reality. The reality of morality comes into clear focus when we come face to face with the problem of evil, pain, and suffering. It's easy to say it's relative because you're living your life comfortably. You're living your life conveniently. But what if you are face to face with the evils of this world? We have very good reasons to think that our argument for God's existence rests on solid ground based on the moral argument. God exists and He is the explanation for morality.